Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here. It is Friday the 28th of September. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Thanks for using the site. It's by you coming back and visiting the site and telling your friends about the site, keeps it all free of charge, because it means that we can put adverts in front of you, and when you click on an advert, it generates revenue, and us putting adverts in front of you generates the revenue too. So thank you for doing that. It enables us to keep going with the site and give you all this lovely information. Now, this is the 500 millibar flow from the Ensemble model here on the left hand side, and what we're looking at here is above normal heights are orange, below normal heights are blue. And notice how on the analysis here from last night we've got this trough that's off towards the northwest of Scotland. It kind of extends, you can see the extension from it a little bit further south, and the remnants of the weekend's low has kind of stuck out here over Scandinavia, with a ridge building in across the Atlantic. Now, I've been on about that ridge for a couple of days as well, building out in the Atlantic. It's not now looking next week as if it's going to be building in quite as intensely as I thought. There is a trough there coming in on Tuesday, and this is Tuesday the 2nd, and now we are getting into Wednesday the 3rd and the 4th. It was this feature here, this trough moving through, that I was looking at bringing in a northwesterly behind it. However, that relied on there being a trough building here in the Western Atlantic as well, and you can see that it's not quite going. We've got this other little shortwave trough that's just there, and that's preventing the ridge getting itself going, which means that probably the flow isn't getting into the northwest as much as it looked originally as if it would. So I think almost it's reversal actually, where we get the ridge does eventually build, but it builds after the trough goes through, and it actually builds through the UK. Now, in a way, that's good news, because instead of the cold weather, it looks as if it's going to be bringing warmer weather through. And this is how the ECMWF on the left hand side here and the GFS on the right hand side see the charts, the mean 500 millibar flow for the next 7 to 10 days. So this is for the period from next Friday ending Monday the 8th, and you can see how it's built a ridge, look, through the British Isles. So this ridge is there. It's just that it's a few hundred miles further east than I thought it was going to be, and it's there too on the GFS, and this would allow this mild southerly flow to get going. Now, you notice that we've got this trough digging into the central Atlantic. We've got quite a strong ridge here going up over eastern parts of Greenland, and really we need to watch for the link through of these ridges just to see what happens and what the potential implications for our weather could be. There's certainly going to be some rainfall around during the next week. This is the rainfall forecast chart for Europe for the next week, taking us up to midnight on the 6th of October. So that's taking us up to midnight on next Saturday. And notice how, and you can see here, the jet stream surprisingly is here across northern parts of Europe. You can see just how much rain there is, look, through the British Isles, through Ireland, heading up through Denmark, western parts of Norway, Sweden, into the northern Baltic states, into Finland here, and into parts of western Russia. But look how dry it is through this central portion of Europe before we get down into these wetter conditions down towards the south. Put some figures on for the UK, and this is the UK rainfall for the next week. Look, some really heavy rain to come across western parts of Scotland. This is 100 to 120 millimetres of rain here. Much drier conditions forecast towards the south and the east with that west-southwesterly flow. So less in the way of rain across southern and eastern parts of England, but quite a bit of rain too affecting western parts of Wales. So there certainly is quite a bit of rain around. Putting some detail on that for you, this is the chart for 7 o'clock this morning. Here's our area of low pressure off northwest Scotland. There's our cold front that's been moving its way steadily eastwards, and it will do through the course of today and into tonight as well. And rain, I think, will eventually be clearing away from the southeast during the early part of the morning. We then get clearer skies following in behind, and it's going to be a cold night as well for all. Looks like temperatures could be down to 4 or 5 degrees in more rural areas during the course of tonight. That's low enough for a touch of ground frost. I think it's going to be central Wales, the Midlands, northern England, central and eastern parts of Scotland that are most vulnerable to that. Although you can see here still on western coast of Scotland it's still windy with some heavy showers, and 1 or 2 showers affecting northwestern parts of England as well. Now through Saturday, ridge of high pressure builds in. Yes, 1 or 2 showers for northern and western Scotland, but I think generally for many of us it's the best day of the weekend with good spells of sunshine. Notice though this front that's building out towards the west of Scotland here, look, it's coming in for Sunday, and by Sunday morning most of the rain has edged its way east. It's come through Scotland, northwest England, southern parts of Ireland, and it's heading south. I think that will then bring quite a wet afternoon through parts of Wales, the northern and western Midlands, parts of northwest England and northeast England on Sunday. Pretty nippy here too, temperatures probably 12 or 13 degrees. Hanging on to dry weather though through East Anglia and southern England on Sunday, and following in behind the front across Scotland and Ireland we'll find sunny spells, but there will be some showers affecting western coasts of Scotland and the north and west of England. Oh, I should just mention winds as well for you. Let's just nip back and have a look at how the winds on Saturday look. So winds for Saturday, we're looking at westerlies probably blowing around a force 3 to the south. I think southwesterlies force 4 across the western parts of Scotland. For Sunday, we're going to be looking at the winds, obviously breezy, I think southwesterlies, probably coming in at around about a force 4 along the southern Channel coasts. I think generally southwesterlies at force 5s and 6s further north. Now, I know I'm talking in terms of forces here, but I'm a real believer in the Beaufort force, and for pilots as well. I know many of you are pilots who watch this, but you know the Beaufort scale is brilliant if you can get used to using it and know what your sort of limits are. I mean, for most light aircraft, top end of a force 3, low end of a force 4 is about the limits that you want to be off on takeoff and landing for most aircraft, and it is a useful scale to get used to. But for those of you who are flying, it looks like Saturday's going to be the good day. It looks like bases are going to be up quite high, about 4,000 feet, and the winds are fairly light as well. For Sunday, a bit of a different story. I think flyable across East Anglia and certainly the southern parts of England. I think through this frontal zone here we're going to be looking at bases of 1,200 feet, perhaps even lower at times in rain, and the tops of that cloud probably up to about 10,000 feet. Through Scotland, Northern and Western Ireland, here brighter again, 3 to 3,500 foot bases, well broken cloud, probably just down to 2,000 feet across the western coast of Scotland, but I think flyable for much of Scotland and much of Ireland as well. And then into Monday, well, the front will be slipping its way southwards overnight. It's a bit reluctant to clear, look, East Anglia and the southern coast of England. It will eventually do so for a short time, but then look, we find a little wave running along the front. Now, the effect of waves is that it slows down the movement of the front, and it's a little pulse of heavier rain, and it looks as if that's going to run through during the course of Monday afternoon, possibly coming across southern coast of England. They are notoriously difficult to forecast, but it could be that we get some heavy bursts of rain coming across southern England excuse me, on Monday afternoon. Elsewhere, it looks like sunshine and showers again, most of the showers for northern and western coasts of Scotland and northwest England and the west of Wales, as well as northern and western Ireland, but for many central and eastern areas it should be dry and bright through Monday. On to Tuesday then, and area low pressure, trough of low pressure moving its way eastwards. Some heavy and persistent showers affecting western coasts, I think, on Tuesday, and some of those showers will spread eastwards in the afternoon, but there will be some bright spells in between. Overnight, pretty breezy, I think, on a west to west southwesterly flow. There'll be largely dry conditions with clear skies across many areas, just 1 or 2 showers again affecting western coasts. And then as we head in towards Thursday, so on Thursday we're going to find perhaps the risk of some showers merging to more persistent spells of rain. Sorry, on Wednesday the chance of some more persistent showers merging to longer spells of rain for southern Ireland, Wales, parts of northwest England and northern Midlands, and you'll notice how that area just clears its way eastwards during the course of the day into Thursday. Thursday doesn't look to be too bad a day. Look what's happening now. You notice how this flow, look, is turning more into the south, the southwest. Now I've still got to say, confidence is low here, because if this low comes across Scotland and the ridge manages to build in the Atlantic, we could still go round to the colder northwesterly flow. It's just that at the moment all the models are indicating that we go more into the south or the southwest. So the south or southwesterly comes in through Thursday and into Friday as well, and the effect of that is to bring some pretty hefty periods of rain across Ireland and western parts of Scotland. But for most, with that southerly flow in, it looks as if it'll be dry, very warm conditions down to the south, although I think a fair amount of low cloud affecting western coasts. Some really heavy rain could occur across Scotland if that happens through Friday, and then through Saturday we're looking at the risk of some more heavy rain towards the west of Ireland and the western parts of Scotland, with a southerly flow through much of England, Wales and the east of Scotland. And then how do we look as we look further ahead? Right, well, let's pick up on the Ensemble model then and see how that is dealing with the situation right now. Let's just get forward as well to the 6th of October. You notice the time here, look, in the top right hand corner, that's going up in 12-hour steps. So if we get to the 6th of October, there we go. Look, here's that southerly flow. So this is Saturday the 6th. Southerly flow brings fine warm conditions across much of England and Wales and the south and east of Ireland. Some rain across Scotland. Then it looks as if the flow tends to go more into the southwest across Scotland and Ireland. More unsettled conditions here, but largely staying dry for England, Wales, and possibly the east of Ireland too. And then into the next week, well, we tend to find the flow still staying from the southwest. Yes, there could be some spots of rain just coming through the Channel and into southern parts of England, and perhaps some low cloud for western parts of Scotland too. But for many, it looks as if the following week across England and Wales stays with that dry theme, at least during the first half, with rain across Scotland. But during the second half of the week, indications are the jet stream breaks through and conditions may well become a little bit more on the unsettled side. You can see this westerly flow coming in from the Atlantic here. However, important to note that with a jet stream to the north, it's always going to be Scotland, Northern Ireland, the far north of England that's most prone to the unsettled conditions, whereas more southern areas tending to stay on that drier side. So we still got to think about this risk of cold around the 4th or the 5th. It looks as if that risk has gone away now and we're going to flip to warmer conditions, but it's certainly something that needs to be borne in mind. So I think the message really from today is make the most of this weekend, of Saturday particularly. That looks like being a pleasant day, and just get ready for some rain across some parts of the country on Sunday, and then get ready for things going warmer during the course of next week, although there could be some heavy rain for Western Ireland and western parts of Scotland. So that's it for now. As always, as I said, the site's kept free of charge by the adverts around the screen, so thanks again for coming back and visiting. Thanks for watching, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.